Left. Will you shut up, man? Listen, who is on your list, Joe?
Keep yapping, man.
Hard to get any word in with this clown. Hard to get any word in with this clown.
Left. Will you shut up, man? Listen, who is on your list, Joe?
In the Western world, a common citizen can look their president in the face and tell him to shut up, call him all types of names, and go on to defeat him in a national election where he is the incumbent. In the Western world, large numbers of people can gather, protest, block roads, and disrupt normalcy of the streets, and in turn are joined in part by the very police and authorities they verbally taunt and mocked. In the Western world, a region of a larger body, duty-bound and obliged to support and promote the integrity of such body, can, and without assault, agitate for separation and parting of ways in the most democratic of means. Through a peaceful referendum, one person, one vote, for or against, and dissolve their ties with the assumed mother continent. Within that very island, among their very selves, similar measures are given for referendum, for restructuring, for independent parliaments and the likes, to ensure each home nation can progress without any marginalization from another. In the Muslim world, oil-rich nations transform their nation into paradise on earth, without dependence on the oil, gas, natural resources, because they, like their continental brethren in Korea and places like Japan, realize that the best natural resource is your brain, your thinking faculties. A quote, that is, from the supreme servant and leader of an original African dominion, a God-fearing, peace-loving, communal-based group of brethren tribes, where the women tie two-piece wrapper. That is, the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, whose rearrest, as they say, in place of kidnap or abduction, has brought us all that originate from Mother Africa to that very self-examination as to who we really are and expect of ourselves as a people. Like many, I created this channel simply because of Nnamdi Kanu. Not necessarily because of his message, which resonates with scores of millions around the world, but simply because of the hostility faced upon him by the very people whose interest he is championing. Here's a gentleman, as do many, living in England in relative comfort, choosing to make a comfortable life uncomfortable for himself and his family, so that others whose uncomfortable life, uncomfortable circumstances, uncomfortable situations go better. Here is a gentleman who rejects not his forefathers nor his foremothers, believing in the absolute ability of his people to individually and collectively rebuild a great society that will make Black people proud, based on freedom, transparency, equality, democracy, history, leaving a powerful legacy for all under the African sun and beyond. Perhaps Black Africa would decide that the colonizers of yesterday and their descendants did not make any mistakes putting together boundaries that were designed for the sole reason, sole purpose to maximize profit, to further divide between the nations of haves and those regions of have-nots, so that today assumed leaders south of the Sahara can lodge in Western buildings on holiday or sick leave, so that football leagues can be overanalyzed and celebrated, while local leagues can, if they like, wither in the bush. So that men from the 18th century can, for their offspring, centuries later, rack in billions in sales of their products, while millions continue to wander in hunger and poverty. If we as black people want to state rightfully that Black Lives Matter, it should not be contained to a traffic stop incident. Neither should it be used to scare or intimidate others, but applied in the common good and freedom of all children from Africa, those with American accents, those with a Polish parent, those in Toronto and Milan seeking public office or unregulated access at an eatery, for those agitating for the reestablishment of a free Ambazonia state, or those seeking for a referendum to reestablish Biafra. Some say Nigeria will or would never grant Biafra a referendum, but Nnamdi Kanu himself may just be that very long-awaited referendum. Because see, it has never been a case for Igbo or Igbo conniving to keep oil, take oil, spill oil, steal oil, mismanage the proceeds of the oil. Rather, a chance for Black Africa to move forward. It is a referendum for what freedom means in Africa. It is a referendum on our past, if we accept the very names that were used to censor and eliminate voices of dissent. It is a referendum on our future, if we want to continue to lament, accept billions missing from Treasury as normal, accept leaders going abroad for medical treatment while the masses suffer. It is a referendum on whether African-made products, from airlines to clothing to hairstyles to sports to politics to drama to movies, are indeed collectively inferior. A referendum as to us living in a world that gives us that illusion of inclusion based on free access to consume and enjoy the productions of others, in which, in perpetuity, the others' lands, culture, laws, entertainment, securities improve, and the suffering, raping, kidnapping, dilapidating, stealing, cheating, non-continuity, tribalism, hostility, and mismanagement on grand scales, on grand levels in Africa continues for all time. The Biafran referendum has arrived. Do you vote in favor?